Park in Starkville. This is Mississippi State Softball. Mississippi State Softball is sponsored by C-Spire, customer inspired. First pitch is just moments away. Now let's go live to the broadcast booth for Mississippi State Softball.
Good evening to you, and welcome into the Bulldogs Student Sports Network on Learfield as we are live here from Oxford. The Bulldogs are on the road taking on their in-state rivals, Ole Miss. Mississippi State coming in number 16 in the country, 36-15, 8-13 in the Southeastern Conference with an RPI of number 16. That'll be important to talk about all throughout the ballgame and all throughout the series this weekend, and we'll talk about that a little bit in the pregame show. And Ole Miss coming in at 30-22 and 4-17 in Southeastern Conference play. Again, good evening to you. Glad to be with you. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you here in Oxford on the road for the first time this year with the Bulldogs Student Sports Network on Learfield. But the Bulldogs is their final SEC series of the regular season before the Southeastern Conference tournament next week in Lexington, and they have a trip up here to Oxford where the Bulldogs are going to try and continue their dominance over Ole Miss. Bulldogs looking for back-to-back SEC series wins for the first time since the last two series of the regular season last year, where they defeated Kentucky and then Ole Miss at home before the Southeastern Conference tournament. It will be important for Mississippi State to get some wins this weekend, at least win the series. State really on the bubble of hosting an NCAA regional, so important that they get some wins this weekend and hopefully strengthen their case to host an NCAA regional at Noose Park in Starkville, Mississippi. Looking at the Ole Miss Rebels, they're looking for their third series win of the season, coming off a Women's College World Series appearance last year. They have struggled this year, but looking for their third SEC series win of the season. The Rebels defeated Tennessee in Knoxville at the beginning of SEC play. They won 2 out of 3 ball games there on Rocky Top, and are coming off a series win over Auburn on the Plains. They won 2 out of 3, won games 1 and 2, and so looking to find a series win at home. They actually a win at home here in conference play. They have not won a conference game at home this season, so looking for their first conference win here on senior weekend in Oxford, so trying to do that, but against a mighty foe in the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Looking at the series history between these two ball clubs, Mississippi State leads the all-time series 50 games to 35. MSU last year in Starkville, we were on the call for that one on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. State won 2 out of 3 last year in Starkville, won games 1 and 2, dropped game 3, but the Bulldogs won that series. State has won 3 straight series over Ole Miss. All-time here in Oxford, the Bulldogs have the advantage 20 games to 18, and under Coach Ricketts here, Coach Samantha Ricketts at Mississippi State, during her tenure, State has really dominated in-state foes, including Ole Miss, Southern Miss, just to name a couple, but particularly Ole Miss. But just in terms of the state of Mississippi, State has dominated them under Coach Samantha Ricketts. Bulldogs boast a 31-6 record over teams from our state over the past 7 years, and so State looking to continue that success going into this weekend here in Oxford. Let's first talk about Mississippi State coming off a big series win, a resume-building series win over LSU last weekend and Super Bulldog weekend at Noose Park. Bulldogs won games 1 and 2, got close there in game 1 in the 7th inning, but State pulled away and was able to go to work pitching. Layla Amick came in, got the save in that ball game. You look at game 2, and you got fantastic pitching again. You got fantastic pitching from Alyssa Faircloth in game 1, got it again from Paige Gould in game 2. Those two combined for 22 strikeouts between those two ball games, and Mississippi State got some early hitting in that ball game. All 5 runs coming in the first inning. Mississippi State with Paige Ernstis with a 3-run home run. She had back-to-back home runs in back-to-back days last weekend, and Zion Romero had a 2-run home run of that first inning. The 5 runs were enough to pull the Bulldogs ahead and win over the Fighting Tigers of LSU. State dropped game 3, but a close battle nonetheless. Bulldogs were in it all weekend, able to grab 2 from LSU, a solid ball club This is the first series, in fact, and looking back at just the strength of Mississippi State's schedule this season, the first series, in fact, that Mississippi State has not faced a ranked opponent. So every opponent up until now has been a ranked team. So this is rarefied air for Mississippi State, but Ole Miss not exactly a team to mess with. Even though they've struggled this season, they've got some things that they're pretty good at, and obviously it's a rivalry as well. State, I think this weekend could have an opportunity for great offensive success. You've seen Ole Miss really, really struggle this year. In terms of pitching and defensively, they have really struggled. Look at pitching wise, all of their main 3 pitchers that have pitched in Southeastern Conference play have ERAs near the 7 mark. 2 of them over 7, and the other one around the 6.9 range, around that range as well. So high ERAs, and they have struggled to find strikeouts as well. And so Mississippi State, I think, with a lot of momentum coming off of what they did against LSU this past weekend, maybe an opportunity to have some success offensively. Defensively as well, just looking at pitching and the defense in general, I think State's going to have to be really on point this weekend. The Bulldogs will go up against a Rebels offense that is hot, and Coach Ricketts and I talked about that early in our interview. We'll have that for you later in this pregame show, but an Ole Miss offense that has been hot at that top of the order. They hit a lot of home runs. They set a school record for most home runs in the season this year. They have been potent at times. State's defense and their pitching going to have to lock in this one, find the strike zone, and play error-free softball on the defensive end. Looking at Ole Miss, they were able to take 2 from Auburn this past weekend. Rebels against Auburn won games 1 and 2 against the Tigers. They won game 1 6-2 in 8 innings and won game 1 6-2 in 8 innings and won game 2 13-11 in 7. Lost game 3, got run ruled in 5 13-3, but a lot of runs scored for them over the weekend, and just to prove it how potent that offense can be. So they won 2 out of 3 over Auburn. Looking again, we just kind of tie it back in. Look at Ole Miss's their pitching staff has struggled. They gave up 11 in game 2 and 13 in game 3, so really struggled there against Auburn, who is a team that's at the bottom of the conference here this year. You look at what they gave up against LSU a couple weekends ago. Gave up 6 in game 1, 7 in game 2, 8 in game 3. So they've given up a lot of runs, and it's a Mississippi State offense that I think is really going to have an opportunity to shine this week. Now, the Bulldogs are going to have to be careful, specifically against that top of the order for Ole Miss, and really they got some hitters in that middle of the order too, one of those being in the cleanup spot today, Maddie George. Maddie George going to be really solid coming off she was the NCAA Freshman of the Week and the SEC Freshman of the Week as well after her performance on the Plains, and so she was really, really solid. State going to have to hit around her or pitch around her, and just be careful when she's at the dish. Most importantly, make sure runners are not on so she can't do heavy damage against Mississippi State. So keeping runners off base, hitting the strike zone will be important for Mississippi State pitchers in this game, and again, playing clean defense will be key as well. So Bulldogs and Rebels just about set for first pitch. We're going to take a short break. I'll give you play the interview I had earlier with Coach Samantha Ricketts. So we'll play that, and then we'll send it to a commercial break and be back in just a moment for first pitch here in Oxford. Glad to be on the road here, and glad to be calling some Mississippi State softball this weekend. Again, going to take a short break and be back in just a moment. We'll send it to the pregame interview I had with Coach Samantha Ricketts just about an hour ago. Mississippi State and Ole Miss just about set to do battle. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield. I'm here with your Bulldog coach, Samantha Ricketts, on the road here in Oxford. Coach, last regular season series of the season before the SEC tournament. Obviously coming off a lot of momentum last weekend with that win over LSU in Starkville. What'd you tell your team going into this week? What's the MO for your ball club trying to continue that in-state dominance over Ole Miss?
Yeah, I mean, we know we have a lot to play for right now, coming up close to postseason and selection show and everything, but it's really just trying to take it one game at a time, remembering the little things that we've been working hard on the last few weeks and staying and focus on ourselves and what we can control. And we had it show up for us a lot against LSU, and we're looking to do the same this weekend.
So looking offensively, you had some success last weekend against LSU. Had some players come on, both in senior and classification and also the younger ones as well. You saw Greta Grassel, Zion Romero, Paige Ernstis. This is an Ole Miss pitching staff that has struggled this season, and especially in SEC play. What's the plan of attack against them, and what do you look to do with some of those younger players and how to get them involved, especially Grassel maybe coming off the bench?
Yeah, you'll definitely see her again today, and I think she's just done a really great job of, one, putting in the work to be ready for her time, and then also just being a great teammate. And I think the game rewards you, and I think she provides us another good lefty matchup with some speed. So just going to continue to give opportunities and continue to stay on the attack and focus on our game plan, where we want to be a little bit more aggressive, trying to score earlier than we did, especially to start SEC play, and that's the goal coming out for this weekend.
Now looking pitching wise and defensively, Ole Miss, a team that has been hot over the last couple of weeks, hitting around 300 as an average on the season. They've got some hot bats, broke the home run record, school record this season here in Oxford. So obviously a lot to try and be careful of and maybe pitch around. What's what are you telling your pitchers? What's Tara McKinney telling her pitchers coming in this week? And especially, how do you keep up that great play defensively without the errors that you had last weekend? Didn't have any. So how do you keep that up going into this weekend?
Yeah, we have a lot of faith in our pitching staff. They've done a great job just really leading the way all year long, and just continuing to have a lot of confidence in them. And I think that bleeds right into the defense behind them and the way they play, and just wanted to have their backs when they go out there, and they've just really given us everything they've had all season long. But they've got to do the same thing. It's a very good offense. They have to make sure they're getting ahead, that we're not falling behind. That happened a little bit last weekend, and that we're not leaving anything, especially the middle of their lineup, over the middle of the plate, because they'll make us pay for it.
Well, thank you very much, Coach. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Hail State.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder.
Hi, I'm Tim from C Spire. Am I in the right place?
It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C Spire, customer inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Jake Mangum here. When I'm at the plate, I'm always looking for an edge. So when I'm shopping for auto insurance, I'm always looking to save. That's why I'm going with Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance to keep me covered. They're always finding ways to save you money, like a 7% discount when you sign up for paperless billing and documents. Go to msfbins.com and discover how much you can save on auto insurance, or find a local agent and get started today. Go with the home team. Go with Farm Bureau Insurance.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you here as we are on the road in Oxford for a three-game set between two rivals from the state of Mississippi, the Ole Miss Rebels and your Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Just about set for first pitch here in Starkville. So let's get started with the starting lineups. First, for the Mississippi State Bulldogs, 36-15 and 8-13 in the Southeastern Conference is Mississippi State, looking for a resume-building series win this weekend like they had last weekend against LSU. first for Mississippi State, and leading off, it'll be the shortstop, sophomore Morgan Stiles, a .333 batting average on the year for her. Then batting second over at the hot corner at third base will be the senior, a .335 batting average, Nadia Barbary. In the 3 spot and over at second base, moving up in the order, going to be the sophomore, .217 average in Zian Romero. In the 4 spot, cleaning up for Mississippi State, will be the sophomore first baseman, Paige Ernstis, a .176 batting average for her, coming off 2 home runs last weekend against LSU. Looking into now the 6th spot, it'll be the senior right fielder in Kiara Sells, moving down in the order today with a .366 batting average, so she'll get the start in the 6th spot and in right field. In left field for Mississippi State, it'll be the senior the senior left fielder. I'll say it 2 times to make sure I'm right. Senior left fielder Morgan Bernardini, a .260 batting average for her. Behind the plate in the 8th spot, going to be the catcher Des Rivera, senior with a .261 batting average. And rounding out the order, getting the start today, her first start on the season to be the sophomore center fielder Greta Grassel. Had 2 big hits over the weekend in Starkville against LSU, so she gets an opportunity. She carries a .375 batting average into this ball game. And the starting pitcher for your Bulldogs going to be number 4, the junior lefty Alyssa Faircloth. So we'll get you more info on Faircloth in just a moment. But now let's look at the Ole Miss starting lineup for the ball game. The home team in this one, 30-22 and 4-17 in the SEC. Leading off and catching for the Rebels going to be the senior Kennedy Bunker with a .261 batting average. In the 2 spot over at second base will be the sophomore with a .280 average. It's Mackenzie Pickens. In the 3 spot and over at first base will be the sophomore with a .392 average, Percy Yamas. In the cleanup spot, the reigning national and SEC freshman of the week, it's the right fielder freshman Maddie George, 400 even average for her this season. In the 5 spot, it will be they'll be over at shortstop. Will be the junior .360 average for her, Cassie Reisner. Over in the designated player today for Ole Miss, going to be in the 6th spot, the senior Taylor Roman, a .250 batting average for her. Out in left field in the 7th spot, it'll be the junior Leilana Apland with a .261 batting average. And in the 8th spot, it'll be the senior third baseman over the hot corner. It'll be Ryan Starr, and then with a .150 batting average. And rounding out the order, going to be the center fielder senior, it'll be Taylor Malvin, a .288 batting average for her this season. And the starting pitcher for Ole Miss in the ball game will be the senior righty in Emily Boyer. So Emily Boyer will get the start today for the Rebels, senior righty out of Harrisburg, South Dakota. Spent a couple years at West Texas A&M before coming here to Oxford. Had a career record of 69-10 there and a career ERA of 2.39. This season, looking what she's done for the Rebels, 4.16 ERA. She's 9-11 on the year. This will be her 29th appearance and 23rd start. Has had 11 complete games this year, 133 innings pitched on the season for her. 88 runs, 79 of them given up. 77 walks, 118 strikeouts. Opponents with a .249 batting average against her. She has struggled in SEC play. A 7.30 ERA for her. Has given up 65 runs, a .323 opponent batting average. So State will look to go after her in this ball game as we're just about set again for first pitch here in Oxford. Glad to be with you. I'm Ty Goldman. Alongside you here, the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield, as Mississippi State looks to square off with their rivals in Ole Miss. Ole Miss in white tops with script Rebels in red across the front, navy pants. Mississippi State all maroon with white script State across the front. Here comes the first pitch from Boyer to Stiles. It's a swing and a miss for strike 1 here at 6:03 p.m. Central Time here in Oxford, Mississippi. Umpires for today's game: behind home plate, Lyndon Baptiste; at first base, David Irwin; and over at third, it's Emeris Addison. 0-1 count to Stiles. This one misses way high for ball 1. Stiles had a hit in each ball game last weekend against LSU. Led off game 1 with a double off the top of the wall that got Mississippi State started in their game 1 victory. 1-1 misses away, and now the count in favor of Stiles at 2-1. Boyer had a couple starts last weekend against Auburn, started in game 1. And Ole Miss held Auburn to only 2 runs in that ball game. This one misses, now the count 3-1. So a heavy hitter's count here for Morgan Stiles. The State looks to get the leadoff batter aboard. It went 6 innings, and that one gave up 5 hits, struck out only 2. Pitched in every game last weekend against the Tigers. The 3-1. Sent into center. Let's see if it will drop. It will not. It's right at the center fielder in Taylor Malvin for out number 1. 3-1 count sent in the center, and there's one gone here in the Bulldog half of the first inning. So now that'll bring up Nadia Barbary. Barbary, last weekend against LSU, 3 for 9, had a double and a home run as well. First pitch from Boyer misses for ball 1. Had a good weekend against LSU. She's been the Bulldogs' best hitter in SEC play, garnering a .323 batting average in conference play, the best on this squad. And she sends one right back where it came from in the center field. And a one-out single for Mississippi State. The Dogs are cooking here in the top half of the first inning. For Barbary, her 21st hit in conference play. And that's 53 hits on the season now. So now she's got the sole lead in hits for Mississippi State this year. Now Zion Romero will stand in, getting a chance in the 3 spot today after a really solid weekend against LSU last weekend. First pitch going to miss for ball 1. Look at what she did against the Tigers last weekend. 4 for 8, had a home run, 2 RBIs. That home run came in game 2 in the first inning. It was a 2-run shot that gave State a 5-1 lead. 1-0, catches a zone. The count now 1 ball and 1 strike. Average in SEC play for her up now to .258, getting her 13th start today. This one catches the outer half, and now the count 1-2. Romero behind. Barbary at first base, 1 out in the inning. Here's the 1-2 to Romero. Misses high, and the count evens, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boyer comes from West Texas A&M, was there for 3 years. Mentioned earlier a career record of 69-10 at a career .239 ERA there. Over 400 innings pitched. This one misses away. The count now full. Catcher in bunker wanted that one behind the plate but does not get the call. And so a chance for State to get another base runner here in a full count. Struck out 461 total batters in her career at West Texas A&M. 3-2 to Romero. Swing and a foul ball back, and the count will stay where it is. Ernstis waiting in the on-deck circle for Mississippi State. Barbary had that single with 1 out in the inning. Stiles led off, had the line drive out in the center, and so State trying to score early here. Hopefully they can score often, too. 3-2 to Romero. Misses off the outer edge for ball 4, and so Mississippi State's got a runner in scoring position. That outer edge tough to find for Boyer so far. And the Bulldogs have a runner in scoring position, but runners at first and second with 1 out in the inning for the cleanup hitter in Paige Ernstis. And so it would be quite funny to see her have another 3-run home run here. Had one in game 2, which was in the first inning. Also had one in game 1, which was in the 3rd inning. First pitch to her misses. No, catches the outer half for strike 1. So an average now at 176 for Ernstis. Has homered 3 times this year. Has driven in 17 runs for Mississippi State. 0-1 to her. Does that catch the outer edge? It does. And a count now 0-2. So 0-2 on Ernstis. Boyer looking for her first strikeout of the ball game. It's had 49 in SEC play. That's the most in SEC play on this Ole Miss pitching staff. The 0-2 to Ernstis. Misses low in the dirt for ball 1. Ernstis this season, a .280 hitter with runners in scoring position. Has come along as of late, and so been staying in that cleanup spot as well. 1-2. Swing and a foul ball high, and it'll get out of the yard here. Catcher in bunker will run out, and give the ball to her pitcher, and the infield will gather right there. Defensively for Ole Miss, you've got the battery is as so. Bunker behind the plate, Boyer in the circle. You got Starr at third, Reasoner at shortstop, Pickens at second base, Yamas at first, and then in the outfield it's Applin in left field, Malvin in center, and George in right field. Count 1-2, 1 out, runners at first and second. The pitch to Ernstis, misses away for ball 2. And so that on the outer edge there to the righty Ernstis. That outside corner has been iffy to start the ball game. So we'll see how that zone progresses throughout the rest of it. Count even on Ernstis, trying to come up clutch early in the game for State. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a foul ball back, and so continuing to stay alive here is Paige Ernstis for Mississippi State. Runners at first and second with 1 out. The 2-2 once again, and got her strike 3. That one on the inside corner. Ernstis caught looking. First strike out of the ball game for Emily Boyer, and the Rebels now have 2 outs here in the top half of the first. State trying to cash in with some early runners, but we'll have to do so with 2 outs. Anna Carter now going to stand in for Mississippi State. Carter, a senior, be the designated player today for State. First pitch to her, she's just off of it, fouls it back to the netting for strike 1. Had a 1-for-8 weekend against LSU, was able to walk once as well, so reached twice against the Tigers. SEC play has been one of the better batters for State. They have struggled hitting this year, but her average at 263. 0-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Misses high and away for ball 1 and evens the count up. So you got Barbary at second base. Had a single earlier in this inning, and Romero walked right after that. And she's at first base right now. Bulldogs trying to cash in. 1-1. Just misses. No, there's a called strike right there on the outer edge. Emerus Addison behind the plate. That's Lyndon Baptiste behind the plate. Little tardy with some of the strike calls, so I have to not call them out as early. 1-2 on Carter. State with 2 runners on and 2 outs. This one misses away, and now Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs in the top of the first for Mississippi State. Due up is the top of the order for Ole Miss against Alyssa Faircloth next inning. That would be Bunker, Pickens, and Yamas. State trying to score here early, put the pressure on Ole Miss. The 2-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. And so there's the second strikeout of the inning for Emily Boyer. Bulldogs leave a couple stranded here in the top half of the first inning, as we'll keep it right here and introduce your starting pitcher for Mississippi State. But for Ole Miss, for Mississippi State, it's no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base for the maroon and white in the top half of the first inning. And so the Bulldogs will have to go to work defensively in the bottom of the first against an Ole Miss order that has been hot as of late, has broken the season record in home runs this year for for Ole Miss, and so they look to continue their hot hitting here against Mississippi State. But it'll be tough to do against the Bulldogs. One of the Bulldogs' aces in Alyssa Faircloth, junior lefty out of Northport, Alabama, transfer from Troy. This year in total, a 2.56 ERA. This is going to be her 32nd appearance and 19th start. Is going 11-5 this year. Has pitched 8 complete games, 1 shutout, 4 saves, 131 flat innings pitched, 88 hits, given up 51 runs, 48 of them earned, 48 walks, and 210 strikeouts. That's the most in the SEC and the 7th most in all of college softball. And a 1.90 opponent batting average against her. She's had 19 games with 5+ strikeouts this year. 7 games with 10+ strikeouts, so has been known to get strikeouts in the double digits this season, and hopefully she can do that today. Look at what she's done in SEC play, a 3.56 ERA, 3-4 record. This will be her 9th start in SEC play. Opponents with a 229 batting average against her. She's got 84 strikeouts in SEC play. Got a win in the start in game 1, had 11 strikeouts against LSU last weekend. It went 6 2/3. Layla Amon came in and got the save. And then game 3, she got the start. No decision for her. Went 3 innings, got 4 hits, 3 earned runs. And it had 4 strikeouts there through 61 pitches. So she'll get the start for State today. Here in the game 1 against Ole Miss, and Kennedy Bunker going to lead off for the Rebels here in the bottom half of the first inning. First pitch to Bunker, fouled down the first base line for strike 1. Bunker, a senior transfer from Fresno State, where she was an All-Mountain West Conference second teamer. This season, a .261 batting average. That dips down in SEC play. It's at .215. Count 0-1 on her. Here's a pitch. It just misses off the outer edge for ball 1. Went 3 for 12 last weekend in Ole Miss's series win over Auburn. Had a home run in that one. That came in game 2. Started game 1 and 2 at catcher, and then game 3 in the outfield. So getting the start here in game 1 behind the plate like she did last weekend. Waiting for the 1-1 pitch here. Here it comes from Faircloth. Big swing and a miss way out in front of that one was Bunker, and the count now goes in favor of the Bulldogs lefty, 1-2. And so looking to get started early with the strikeouts like she did last weekend in game 1 against LSU, trying to do it in game 1 against Ole Miss, and she calls time in the circle. And now Des Rivera, the catcher, going to go talking with Taryn Mullet-McKinney, maybe trying to get the PitchCom situation figured out. I think that's exactly what it is. And so getting that sorted out, we're ready for action. 1-2 on Bunker. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strike out of the ball game there for Alyssa Faircloth, continuing her great work, what she had last weekend. The Bulldogs have now retired 1 in the Ole Miss half of the first inning. Now standing in going to be the second baseman, Mackenzie Pickens. Steps into the right-handed batter's box. First pitch to her misses away for ball 1. Pickens, a sophomore out of Flowery Branch, Georgia. One of the many that have, or one of the 3 on this roster that have come from Buford High School in Georgia. They've kind of formed a big recruiting center, I guess, there at Buford High School. Got a bunch of players there. There's a swing and a miss, strike 1. Last year had a really solid freshman year, hit .328 for Ole Miss. This year that's gone down, average at .280. 1-1 right over the heart of the plate. The count now 1-2. But she has the best, or one of the best averages in SEC play for Ole Miss. It's at .250. Ole Miss with a lot of their batters in the 200s with their average, a couple not yet. Percy Yamas has hit over 300. You also had Maddie George as well, one of those, just to name a few. Count now 2-2 on Pickens. Here's the pitch. Right down Broadway, strike 3. Struck her out looking, back-to-back strikeouts for Alyssa Faircloth to start the ball game, and so really solid start for Mississippi State in the circle. And looking to move through this top half of the Ole Miss order here in the bottom of the first, but standing in to try and change that is Percy Yamas. Yamas, a sophomore in her second season at Ole Miss, has continued her success at the plate. First pitch to her, a strike. Was a second-team All-SEC honoree last year. This season, her average at .392. She's hit the best in SEC play for Ole Miss at .338. So it's been really solid for the Rebels. 0-1 was fouled back, and the count now 0-2. State will have 6, 7, and 8 due up. Sells, Bernardini, and Rivera. They got to get out of this inning first and take it to the second. The 0-2. Swinging a soft liner. Barbary with a snow cone catch in the dive. What a play by Nadia Barbary to end the inning. Mississippi State with a solid bottom half of the first inning. 1-2-3, 2 strikeouts and a web gem over there from Nadia Barbary. And that sends us to the second here in Oxford. Mississippi State and Ole Miss tied at 0. Bulldogs will go to bat in the top half of the second inning and look to add some runs. It'll be 6, 7, 8, Sells, Bernardini, and Rivera once again against Emily Boyer. We're going to take a short break and be back in just a moment for the top half of the second inning. 0-0 our score between Mississippi State and Ole Miss. Back in just a moment. This is Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. We head to the top half of the second inning with the Bulldogs and the Rebels here in Oxford tied at 0. Mississippi State with 6, 7, 8 due up. It'll be Kiara Sells to start for the Bulldogs. State trying to ride the momentum of the excellent defensive frame just a couple of minutes ago. 2 strikeouts from Faircloth and a web gem from Barbary. And so it's Sells leading off the inning against Emily Boyer. First pitch to Sells, going to miss inside for ball 1. Boyer had a walk last inning, also gave up a hit against Mississippi State. So State has gotten after her early as she calls time to tie her shoe there in the circle. Looking at Kiara Sells, overall this season has the best average on this ball club. Has struggled a little bit in SEC play. Struggled last weekend, couldn't grab a hit, but was able to reach on a couple of walks and a hit by pitch. 1-0, fouled over towards the Ole Miss dugout on the third base side, and the count evens at 1-1. Ole Miss dugout down the third baseline. Bulldog dugout down the first baseline here at the Ole Miss softball stadium. One from Boyer. Misses low, the count now 2-1. Sells has done a good job of getting on base in SEC play, even if she's not hitting. 16 walks for her in SEC play. That's the most on this roster, and the best OBP in SEC play at 441. 2-1 right down the middle, and there is strike 2, and the count evens. Nobody out and nobody on here in the Bulldog half of the second. Sells in the leadoff spot this season, a .576 hitter. 2-2, sent to left, back at the wall, and off the top of the glove of the left fielder, Applin, and gone. Great start to the second inning for Mississippi State. They get a little glove help out there in left, but Sells gets that one over the left field wall for her 14th home run of the season, and the solo shot gives the Bulldogs of Mississippi State a 1-0 lead in the top half of the second inning. For Boyer, this year, her 26th home run that she's given up, and it just gets over the left field wall with a little bit of glove help from Applin as it bounced off the top of her glove and just got out of here. And so State leads 1-0 in the top of the second. Morgan Bernardini going to stand in. Nobody out, nobody on. First pitch to her, called strike 1. Oh, 0-1 to Bernardini. All speed, that catches the outer half for strike 2. Bernardini, a .260 average on the season. She's driven in 25 runs for the Bulldogs in her senior year. 0-2. I think it just missed off the outer edge, and it did. And the count now 1-2 on Murtadini, trying to stay alive. So you see the long balls from last weekend helped Mississippi State in a big way, and they've done so early here in Game 1 against Ole Miss. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3 for Boyer, her third strikeout of the ball game. There's one gone here in the Bulldog half of the second. State leads 1-0 with a Kiara Sells solo shot to left, giving Mississippi State the lead. Des Rivera now going to stand in. And first pitch to her is fouled over towards Greta Grassel in the on-deck circle for strike 1. Rivera, 1 for 7 last weekend against LSU. Average at a flat 200 in SEC play on the season. It sits at 261. 0-1 right down Broadway, and there's strike 2. So Boyer able to strike out a couple of Bulldog batters so far. I thought State did a good job in Game 1 last weekend of not striking out as much and putting balls in play more often than not, but have struck out a couple times early on here in this one. 0-2 misses away, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. One, two. Swung on a blooper in the shallow left center, ranging back to shortstop Reesner. She can't make the play. It's a bloop single in the left for Mississippi State. Des Rivera with a hit to start her weekend off here in Oxford, and Mississippi State's got a runner aboard at first base with 1 out in the top of the second inning. I was going to be careful out there on those in-betweeners. You had Applin ranging in as the left fielder, Reesner ranging back, and it was Reesner who called it and couldn't make the grab. Bottom of the order now for State, it's Greta Grassel. This one sliced down the left field line and just foul for strike 1. The count now 0-1 on Grassel. Grassel had 3 at-bats last weekend against LSU. Those were her 6th, 7th, and 8th at-bats, and 2 of them was able to grab hits, which were clutch for Mississippi State. Especially that one in Game 1 had a RBI single in the left late in the ballgame for State to add some insurance runs. LSU had a throw into the outfield after 1 run had scored, and so it scored another for MSU. So getting the start today and in the 9 spot and out in center field. The 1-1 to her. Swinging a foul ball off the end of the bat. Trickles over towards the Ole Miss dugout. The count in favor of Boyer, 1-2. So all 3 of her at-bats in SEC play came last weekend, and so her 4th happening right now. The 1-2, staying alive, able to foul that one off, and fighting it off, it heads down the first baseline. The count will stay where it is at 1-2. Runner at first for State with 1 out. The 1-2 misses away. The count now 2-2. Bulldogs, again with that Kiara Sells homer to left field to lead off the inning. It was a solo shot. And so they have a 1-0 lead looking to add on. 2-2 to Grassel. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Grassel strikes out Boyer. It is her 4th strikeout of the ball game, and there's 2 gone here in the top half of the second inning. So now the lineup will flip over. Morgan Stiles now will stand in. Hit one solid in the center fielder last time up. It was a line drive caught by the center fielder. She goes around on this one for strike 1. But Malvin was able to come up with a grab pretty much to straightaway center, but it was solidly hit. Just did not miss an Ole Miss glove. 0-1 the count. This one bounces in the dirt. Good block from Bunker behind the plate. And the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Rivera still running over there at first. Hasn't made many moves to steal this season. Don't expect to see her do that. 1-1 to Stiles. And this one misses away. The count now 2-1. So Bulldogs have had some traffic on the base pass early, 3 hits so far in the game. Obviously, the one run coming off the Sells, homer to left. 2-1. I think that one missed away, and it did. And a hitter's count again on Styles. Had a 3-1 count on her in the first inning. She sent it out to center field, and it was caught. So see if she can make the most of this opportunity here. Another chance at it. 3-1. This one misses. No, just catches the lower part of the zone. And the count runs full at 3-2. Rivera at first base. 2 outs in the inning. State leads 1-0. Styles trying to keep the inning alive for the Dogs. 3-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. Big out to get there for Boyer. She has struck out 5 Bulldogs so far in this ball game, but Mississippi State strikes first in this one. A solo home run from Kiara Sells in the left field, and the Bulldogs have a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Ole Miss will have 4, 5, and 6 due up against Alyssa Faircloth. It'll be George, Reasoner, and Roman. Again, against Alyssa Faircloth for Mississippi State. Going to take a short break and be back in just a moment. 1-0 Mississippi State as we move to the bottom half of the second. This is Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
Everything is just a little easier when you feel at home. At Cadence Bank, we're proud to be part of your home team, and we never stop working to give you a competitive advantage. Stop by a branch or visit us online at cadencebank.com to learn more about how we're helping opportunity take shape for our community.
There's a hit out to left field. This one is gone.
Cadence Bank, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State Athletics. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
To the bottom half of the second we go here in Oxford, Mississippi State with a 1-0 lead over Ole Miss here in Game 1 in this in-state rivalry between the Rebels and the Bulldogs. State with a Kiara Sells solo homer to left field there in the second inning. That has given them the 1-run lead. And now Maddie George going to stand in. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Rebels against Alyssa Faircloth of Mississippi State. First pitch to George, foul down the right field line for strike 1. George, reigning SEC and National Freshman of the Week this season, broke the single-season home runs record at Ole Miss on the Freshman of the Year watch list as well. Could win that award inside our conference, but in the watch list as well for all of college softball. 0-1, an off-speed pitch catches his own. Now the count 0-2. Hitting .400 this year, best on this Ole Miss roster. 21 home runs, 13th most in the nation, 4th most in the Southeastern Conference. Count though 0-2 on her, and a swing and a miss, strike 3. Love to see that to start off the second inning. George retired and a strikeout, and it's the same start as it was in the top of the first for Mississippi State's Alyssa Faircloth. 2 strikeouts to lead off the inning in the first inning and 1 to lead off here in the second. That's 3 in the ball game for Alyssa, and Cassie Reasoner now going to stand in. Out in front of that one, and a swing and a miss for strike 1. Look at Reasoner, a junior infielder out of Harvest, Alabama, transferred from Kentucky. 0-1, all speed in there, and ahead in the count again is Alyssa Faircloth. The count now 0-2. 360 batting average for Reasoner this season. Overall, third on the Ole Miss roster, third best average in SEC play, too, on the Ole Miss roster at 303. Sends this one into shallow right, ranging in as Sells, ranging back is Romero, and Romero will make the grab as she was backpedaling into shallow right field for out number 2. So far to start the ball game for Mississippi State, 5 up, 5 down. and hope the Bulldogs can continue this success defensively against what has been a hot Ole Miss order. Now standing in going to be Taylor Roman, designated player in the game for State. For Ole Miss. There's a swing and a miss for strike one. Roman was here last year, hit .250 for the Rebels in 28 games. This year, her average stands at .250 as well. This one misses high. The count now 1-1. Only pinch hit against Auburn last weekend. 1 AB each in games 1 and 2. Went 0 for 2. Count 1-1 on her. Base is empty with 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning. Off-speed pitch right there for strike 2. So here's Faircloth again continuing to work ahead. Love to see that if you're Tara Mowat McKinney, the pitching coach, as well as the head coach, and Samantha Ricketts. State trying to go 3 up, 3 down again. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Ball in the dirt. Throw down the first in time from Rivera, and that will end the inning. 6 up, 6 down for Mississippi State to start. Alyssa Faircloth has looked solid. She's had 2 strikeouts apiece in each inning. She's now at 4, and Mississippi State will take a 1-0 lead into the top half of the third inning. Bulldogs going to have 2, 3, and 4 due up. Heart of the order, it'll be Barbary, Romero, and Ernstus once again against the starter in Boyer. So Bulldogs looking to add some more runs as we go to the top half of the third. MSU on top 1-0 against Ole Miss here in Game 1. Back in just a moment. This is Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Student Sports Network on Learfield. We head to the top half of the third inning. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you here in Oxford, Mississippi State on top in Game 1 here, 1-0, and they look to add more here. Heart of the order due up. It'll be Nadia Barbary to start for Mississippi State against the starter in Emily Boyer for the Rebels. Outside of the hits and the walk, has struck out 5, so has looked pretty sharp outside of that one solo home run in the second inning from Kiara Sells. First pitch to Barbary misses for ball 1. Barbary singled back in the first inning. Got in a scoring position but was unable to score. State left 2 on base there in that first inning. This one sent to shallow left. Another blooper. Let's see if it drops. It does. And State working with the bloopers today. That one drops into shallow left. Another one in the shallow left. And State's got a leadoff hitter or leadoff runner aboard. Nadia Barbary now 2 for 2 today. So continuing her great play. And now Zion Romero will stand in for Mississippi State. Romero walked back in the first inning. And he 0-0 to her, misses away for ball 1. Mentioned she had such a great weekend against LSU. What's put her in this 3 spot now. And has played a solid second base, especially in the back half of SEC play. 1-0. Catches the outer half of the count now, 1-1. Runner at first is Barber, who had the leadoff bloop single to left. This one hit hard up the middle and through past the diving glove of Reasoner at short. And it's back-to-back singles for Mississippi State, and a good way to start as the Bulldogs look to add on to their one-run lead here in the top half of the third. So now Paige Ernstis will get an opportunity. See if Mississippi State tries to play small ball and move the runners over, or if they let Ernstis hit. She's been known to have 3-run home runs, 2 last weekend, so a chance with 2 runners on to have that here. Corners playing in, Ernstis showing bunt. The first pitch to Ernstis misses away for ball 1. Important that this one gets laid down. Don't want to have a wasted out here and pop one up. Need to have a productive out if we're going to try and lay one down. 1-0 to Ernstis. Let's see if she shows again. She's looking to swing away, and this one misses high, and the count now 2-0 to her. So we'll see if State continues to let her try and swing away. Good count on her. She's 0 for 1, struck out back in the first, so hopefully can see Boyer better this time. This one hit down the right field line, kind of an excuse-me swing there, but just is foul to the right of the foul line. That one almost dropped in there. Would have gotten to the wall. State probably would have had an opportunity there to score 2. And so the count now 2-1 on Ernstis. Nobody out, and runners at first and second for State, and time called by Ernstis in the right-handed batter's box. So State has added 5 hits so far in this ball game. They've been active offensively. 2-1, swing and a pop fly over to Yamas at first base, and she's able to make the grab for out number 1. So 2 times, Ernstis just tries to lay off, but instead gets the bat on it, and after going up 2-0 in the count, she pops out, and there's 1 gone in the inning for State. Anna Carter now going to stand in. Feel like early in this ball game, really want to try and cash in on these opportunities and put some pressure on the home team at Ole Miss. First pitch to Carter misses for ball 1. She struck out as well back in the first inning. And this one catches his own. Now the count 1-1. So 1-1 the count on Carter. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2. One, 2 on Carter. Foul ball back, and the count now will stay at 1-2 with runners at first and second and 1 out. State trying to add on here. 1-2. Hit hard down the left field line, but foul, and so hopefully Carter can straighten it out. So count will stay where it is again, 1-2. So she's staying alive here in this one. Carter on the year. Driven in 8 for the Bulldogs. 1-2. Misses away. Count evens. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two and 2 the count. Carter has worked it back even. And now time called in the circle from Boyer. So Boyer and her catcher Bunker will talk it over inside the circle. State has most definitely added pressure early in this game Barbary at second base has 2 singles in the ball game. Romero with her first single of the weekend just a second ago. And Carter trying to add her first as well. Count 2-2, trying to stay alive here. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, blocked up though, behind the plate from Bunker. And the count now runs full. So count full on Carter, trying to reach first base at least. This one back up the middle. Nice play inside the circle as the pitcher Boyer able to make the grab on the line. Throw back to first, not in time, so can't double anybody off, but that's a really, really big catch right there. That one probably would have got through in the center, and Barbary would have had a chance to score. And so now Kiara Sell is going to stand in for State. Homer back in the second inning. 2 gone. Bulldogs had runners at first and second with nobody out. Now quickly there's 2 gone in the inning. First pitch misses low for ball 1. Sells has driven in 30 this season, able to get to 30 after that solo homer in the second inning. And back up and batting again here in the third. 1-0, catches the outer half. The count, 1 ball and 1 strike. One catches the outer half as well, and now the count 1-2. So Boyer struck out 5 in the ball game. He's had a couple of big strikeouts to end innings for State. Looking to do so here and strand 2 runners again for MSU. One, 2 to Sells. Swinging a foul ball back to the netting, and we'll do the 1-2 again. State has had 4 opportunities so far with runners in scoring position. 0 for 4 right now. Looking to improve that. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. 1-2 misses away. Now Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs in the top of the third for Mississippi State. Sells trying to stay alive. The 2-2. Off speed. Oh, just misses away. Fans in the stands here in Oxford wanted that one. Could not get it. Fans clad maroon and white over on the first base side are okay with it. And the count runs now full, 3-2. Sells trying to stay alive and keep the inning alive for State. 3-2. Down the line and foul. My goodness. Called foul from the home plate umpire, Lyndon Baptiste. I thought that one was fair right there, but just got foul. Baptiste behind the plate all over it. And so the count will stay where it is at 3-2. That one was really close down the line, but ruled foul. 3-2 again to Sells. Ground ball back to the pitcher in Boyer. Throw over to first in time, and that ends the Bulldogs' half of the third. State strands 2. For State, it's no runs on 2 hits, and no errors, and 2 left on base. But the Bulldogs lead 1-0 as we move to the bottom half of the third inning. Ole Miss was 7-8-9 up. Applin, Starr, and Malvin against Faircloth, who has shut down Ole Miss 6 up, 6 down to start the game. 1-0 Mississippi State as we head to the bottom half of the third here in Oxford. Back in just a moment. This is Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder. Hi, I'm Tim from C Spire. Am I in the right place?
It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C Spire, customer inspired.
Hi, Hi, I'm Jake Mangum. Life is about making the most of your at-bats. So if you struck out looking for auto insurance, give Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance a shot. Farm Bureau Insurance is offering huge discounts on their auto rates. In fact, over the last 12 months, Farm Bureau Insurance has taken 3 rate reductions. Talk about coming through in the clutch. So if you were with us before or you're new to Farm Bureau, it's time to come home. Visit msfbins.com to find great new rates on auto insurance. And go with the home team.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. We head to the bottom half of the third inning where Mississippi State leads Ole Miss 1-0 here in Oxford. Bulldogs with the lone run of the game coming from a solo home run in the second inning, and so looking to continue that lead here again as Mississippi State leads 1-0. 7, 8, 9 due up for Ole Miss here in the bottom of the third inning. And so Alyssa Faircloth in her third inning of work has struck out 4, has retired 6 straight to start the game. And for Ole Miss, it'll be Leilani Applin to start things off. First pitch to her, a strike. Applin, a junior infielder out of Stamford, Texas. (0-1). Catches the outer half. The count now 0-2. Some maroon and white chants over there from the State faithful. Stamford, Texas played 2 years before at Angelo State, a D2 college. 0-2 now. This one, a screwball off the end of the bat out to second. Romero all over it, and the throw over to first in time. 7 up, 7 down to start the game for Mississippi State. And so now we'll move to the 8 spot, and it'll be Ryan Starr. So 4-3 put out there. Ryan Starr now going to stand in. Starr in her senior year out of Long Island, New York. Spent 3 years here in Oxford. This season, her average sitting at 150. Lowest in this Ole Miss order. First pitch to her, she shows bunt and got a piece of it, fouls it back for strike 1. So quickly 0-1 on her. Star last weekend. Starting games 1 and 2, did not play game 3 against Auburn. Went 0 for 5 against the Tigers. Big swing and a miss out in front of the breaking ball there, and the count now 0-2. So Faircloth has struck out 2 apiece each inning. Looking to do so here, at least get it started. 4 strikeouts for her, looking for strikeout number 5, the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Starr retired on strikes. It's 5 strikeouts now for Alyssa Faircloth, halfway to double digits. That's another game this season where Alyssa Faircloth has hit 5 strikeouts. That would be the 20th game of the season where Alyssa Faircloth has hit 5 strikeouts at least, and so that'll bring up Taylor Malvin. The first pitch to her, a swing and a miss for strike 1. Malvin in her senior year out of Johns Creek, Georgia, 4th and final season. Hit 277 last year, average this year at 288. There's a strike on the outer half, and the count now 0-2. The 0-2 grounded over to short. Styles up with it, throw to first in time. So the first time through the order, Faircloth does not let any Rebel reach. 9 up, 9 down to start the ball game, and that's a heck of a way to start a game on defense for Mississippi State. And so they've looked clean here through 3. We head to the top half of the 4th inning. Bulldogs lead 1-0. They'll have 7, 8, 9. Bernardini, Rivera, and Grassel due up once again against Emily Boyer. State leads 1-0. Back in just a moment here for the top half of the 4th. You're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. We head to the top half of the fourth inning here in in Oxford. Mississippi State up 1-0. Morgan Bernardini standing in. The first pitch to her was fouled over for strike one, and so the count now 0-1. Now the 0-1 misses away, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1-1 the count on Bernardini. Struck out back in the second inning. Grounds this one over to third. Up with it is Starr. Throw over high. Pulls Yamas off the bag, and that's going to be an error for Ole Miss. Something they've struggled with this season for Ryan Starr. It's her 6th error of the year, 3rd error in SEC play. And the Bulldogs get a base runner aboard here in the 4th. They've had one aboard every inning so far. And they get one aboard here to start the top half of the 4th inning. State will go with a pinch runner over at first. They're going to go Tatum Silva out there at first base. Des Rivera now at the dish for MSU. One for one today is Rivera with a Blute single in the left back in the second inning. First pitch to her misses away for ball 1. So 1-0 on Rivera. This one a chopper over to short. Reasoner up with it. Throw over to second in time. Throw to first not in time as Rivera beats the throw down the line. That's something Ole Miss's defense has been solid with this season, is turning double plays. 3rd most turned double plays in the SEC, but can't turn one there as Rivera scoots down the line at first and stays safe. So there's one gone. And a runner at first base for Mississippi State as the lineup now down in the 9 spot. It's Greta Grassel to start things off. To try and keep things going. Grassel 0 for 1. Cade back in the second. First pitch to her a ball, and the appeal down the first says that she did not go around. So count 1-0 on her. Here's the pitch. Halfway offered at that one, but it was a called strike anyway, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Now sends this one in the right center field. Giving chase is Malvin and makes the grab for out number 2. So State got the first runner on, reaching on an error. But since then, it's been a fielder's choice and a fly out. But the lineup will flip over to Morgan Stiles, looking for her first hit of the ball game. 0 for 2, a fly out, and a strikeout in the first and second. First pitch to her misses low in the dirt for ball 1. State looking for their first hit this inning, but they've got a runner aboard. Have had one reach, mentioned this earlier, but had one reach every inning so far. Had a couple opportunities already with runners in scoring position, hadn't been able to move them over. But when you're pitching as well as you are and playing defense as well as you are, you get all the time in the world to add some runs. 2-0 is the count on Styles. Now this one catches the outer half for strike 1. 2-1 to Styles. Grounder over to first base, stays in fair territory, and Yama steps on the bag at first base for out number 3. So the Bulldogs able to get a runner aboard, but nothing to do with it. No runs on no hits, 1 error for Ole Miss, and 1 left on base as we move to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Mississippi State still holding a 1-0 lead as 1, 2, 3 are due up for Ole Miss as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Back in just a moment. This is Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
Everything is just a little easier when you feel at home. At Cadence Bank, we're proud to be part of your home team, and we never stop working to give you a competitive advantage. Stop by a branch or visit us online at cadencebank.com to learn more about how we're helping opportunity take shape for our community.
There's a hit out to left field. This one is gone.
Cadence Bank, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State Athletics. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Mississippi State leads 1-0 over Ole Miss. Rebels have been retired 9 in a row to start the ball game. It's Kennedy Bunker standing in. And the first pitch to her, a strike. Faircloth, 5 strikeouts so far, working in her 4th inning now. There's a swing and a miss. There's strike 2. So has continued to work ahead. And it just, back-to-back starts in game 1s against LSU and against Ole Miss today has just looked really, really solid. Bunker way out in front, a swing and a miss, strike 3. 6 strikeout of the ball game for Alyssa Faircloth. And so now that's 10 retired in a row against this powerful Ole Miss order. Now Mackenzie Pickens will stand in. Looking to be the first Rebel to reach in this game. First pitch to her misses for ball 1. Pickens struck out back in the first, fouls this one off the top of the roof here at the Ole Miss Softball Stadium, and count evens at 1-1. Struck out, though, back in the first inning. Now fouls this one back at the count now 1-2. looking to continue that reach base streak. It sits at 7 games right now. Second best reach base streak on this ball club behind Maddie George. But looking to continue that, but it's going to be tough against Faircloth, who seems to be on her game today. Swing and a miss, strike 3. My goodness, 7th strikeout of the ball game for Alyssa Faircloth. We've seen it all year, but seeing it again here in the final regular season series against the Bulldogs' arch rivals. There's 2 gone from strikeouts here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And now Percy Yamas will stand in. So part of the order where State does have to be careful. Yamas, a power hitter, but there's a swing and a miss for strike 1. Yamas, a power hitter. George, 1. And so State got to be careful. Also got Reesner in the 5 spot, who's a power hitter. 0-1 the count to Yamas, and this one softly grounded over to first. Ernstis makes the grab. 12 up, 12 down to start the ball game. How about the performance from Alyssa Faircloth to start things off, and Mississippi State carries a 1-0 lead into the top half of the 5th inning. 12 retired to start the game for the Ole Miss order. Mississippi State will look to go to work in the top of the 5th as we're through 4 here. 2-3-4 up for State. Barbary, Romero, and Ernstis against Emily Boyer of Ole Miss. 1-0 MSU as we head to the top of the 5th. Back in just a moment. This is Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C-Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C-Spire. Customer inspired.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. We are through 4 here in Oxford. To the top half of the 5th we go. Alyssa Faircloth through 4 innings. Has thrown 40 pitches. 35 of them have been strikes. And has retired the first 12 in the order for Ole Miss. State with a solo homer in the 2nd has got the 1-0 lead right now. And they're looking to continue to add more for their pitcher in Faircloth. Nadia Barber going to lead off the inning for Mississippi State. First pitch to her, misses low for ball 1. Barbary 2 for 2, 2 singles in the ball game. So another multi-hit game for her this season. This one catches the outer half for strike 1 of the count, evens up. 5th inning of work for Boyer. He's given up 5 hits, 1 earned run on the solo home run in the 2nd from Sells, 1 walk and 5 strikeouts. 1-1 away, and the count now 2-1. Has stranded a couple of runners in scoring position as well as runners on base in general for State. Bulldogs 1 for 11 with runners on today. Grounder up the middle, and another grab from Boyer in the circle, throw to first in time for out number 1. She had a couple of grabs there in the 4th inning. She made a grab on a line drive and also a 1-3 put out in the 4th, and leads off the 5th inning with a 1-3 put out. And Mississippi State will now turn to Zian Romero with 1 out in the Bulldog half of the 5th. First pitch to Romero misses low for ball 1. She's been solid in this game, has reached twice, a walk in the first, single in the 3rd. Continuing her great play from last weekend. Sends a sharp line drive into right field to get all the way to the wall. Rounding first is Romero, now to second, and a stand-up double for Zion Romero. And again, just continuing that success from last weekend. It's her second hit of the ball game. The Bulldogs have a runner in scoring position, and their sixth hit of the game with one out here in the top of the fifth inning. So Romero, 4 for 8 last weekend. Now today, so over her last 3 games, a 500 average. She's 6 for 12 over her last 4 games now. First pitch to Paige Ernstis. Catches a zone for strike 1. She's 0 for 2 looking for her first hit. Cade the first. And popped out in the third. Runner at second for State. Grounder over to short. Reesner, throw over just in time. Ernstis was moving down the first base line. Throw in time to get her 6-3 put out, but the runner in Romero moves to third, so a productive out, and State with a runner 60 feet away. And an opportunity here with 2 outs to drive in another run. State's going to go with a pinch hitter. It'll be Kinley Keller who will stand in. So pinch hitter for Mississippi State, Kinley Keller, the freshman, out of New Braunfels, Texas. First pitch to her misses for ball 1. Keller, a .301 batting average on the season in her freshman year. She's grabbed 6 hits in SEC play. 1-0 to her. Out in front, there's a swing and a miss for strike 1. So 1-1 count on Keller. 2 outs in the inning, runner at third. This one in there, called strike 2. So Keller in the DP spot now, but will instead in the next half inning move to right field. So State will shake up that outfield like they usually do towards the middle of the ball game. Keller trying to come up clutch here. The 1-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. So 6 strike out of the ball game for Boyer. An Ole Miss pitching staff that has struggled this season, but they've looked good so far in this one. Only 1 run for Mississippi State so far as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base and 60 feet away at third base as we move to the bottom half of the 5th inning. Stretch time here in Oxford. We're going to keep it right here, taking a couple breaks over the past couple of end of innings and in between innings, so we'll keep it right here. Again, 1-0 Mississippi State. As we move to the bottom of the 5th inning, it's just been incredibly impressive what we've seen Alyssa Faircloth do. Has thrown 40 pitches in this ball game. 35 of them have been strikes. So I mentioned a couple times she's been working ahead. I feel like that's not enough of an example of how impressive she's been in terms of getting ahead early here in counts and just throwing strikes. Talked about that in the pregame show. State going to have to fill the strike zone and play sharp defense behind Faircloth. And Faircloth has struck out 7 herself out of the 12 she's faced. But State has made some outs in the field as well, and so they've looked sharp as well defensively. It's the middle third of the order for Ole Miss due up. George, Reesner, and Roman. And one of those 3 looking to be the first Rebel to reach base in this ball game. State shifts in the field. Bulldogs battery stays the same, and the infield stays the same as well. You got Rivera behind the plate and Faircloth in the circle, so that's the battery for Mississippi State. At third base, you got Barbary. At shortstop, Stiles. Second base, Romero. First base, Ernstis. And then the outfield is where the change is. In left now is Greta Grassel. In center, State goes with Tatum Silva. And in right field, it's now Kinley Keller. So Maddie George now going to stand in, the freshman sensation for Ole Miss. She struck out back in the second inning, but looking to do damage here. First pitch to her misses high and away for ball 1. So that average now below 400 at 397. Still a really, really solid average, especially in her first year in the SEC. Here's the 1-0 to her. Big swing and a miss. She pulled off of that one for strike one. She's on a 12-game reach base streak. Went 4 for 8 last weekend. Had a homer, 2 walks, 6 RBIs. Earned her National Freshman of the Week and SEC Freshman of the Week last weekend. 1-1 in there, called strike two, and the count now 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count now 1-2 on George. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul ball back. She's just off of it. Staying alive in the count is George. But Faircloth still ahead. She struck out 16 times in SEC play, has George. Now 17 after the strikeout earlier. But has really put together a solid season. That one hit out of play right above us in foul territory. An .880 slugging percentage as well coming into this one. That's 7th in the SEC, best on this ball club. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Back-to-back strikeouts for George here in the ball game. And to lead off the inning, it's a strikeout for Alyssa Faircloth, her 8th strikeout of the ball game. And that's 13 up, 13 down to start this thing for Mississippi State. Now Cassie Reesner will stand in. First pitch to Reesner in there, called strike one. So you look at that 3, 4, the 3, 4, and 5 spots for Ole Miss. It's Yamas at a 387 average, George at 395, Reesner 358. So it's really the strongest part of this order for the Rebels. This one, a cue ball that's going to find its way, or have Reesner find her way to first base. That one hit down the line kind of like a swinging bunt. And that's the first base runner of the ball game for Ole Miss. It comes here in the bottom of the 5th inning. So just a cue ball off the end of the bat there. Spinning down the first base line. Ernstis came up and was able to field it, but had nobody behind her. That would have been a close play if she would have had somebody behind her as well. Now time called. First base umpire David Irwin looking at the ball, and they're going to give her a new one. So Taylor Rollman going to stand in. Rebels again with their first base runner of the ball game, coming in the bottom of the 5th inning with 1 out. Taylor Rollman standing in, struck out back in the 2nd inning. Big swing and a miss for strike one. So a chance here for Faircloth to reach double-digit strikeouts if she can strike out the next 2 in the order, or at least 2 more. Still 2 outs to get. 0-1 to Roman. Sent foul down the left field line into the stands. So now the count 0-2 with 1 out in the inning. Runner at first is Reesner. First base runner to reach for the Rebels. They're combined 1 for 14 today as a team. That's 0-71. Faircloth looking for her 9th strikeout of the ball game. The 0-2 to Roman. Swing and a miss, strike three. 9 strikeouts for Alyssa Faircloth, nearing double digits for the 8th time this year. Now Leilani Applin will stand in. Applin 0 for 1, grounded out in the 3rd. First pitch to her, misses off the outer edge for ball 1. Game started at 6:03 here in Oxford at 7:17 now, so a little bit over an hour through. Makes it quicker when you've got Faircloth doing what she's doing. 1-0. And this one just misses outside in the count 2-0. And so I don't know that you've really seen Faircloth fall behind the count 2-0 today. And so first time she's really had to work from behind here. 2-0 count on Applin. This one fouled back, and the count now 2-1. State has 6, 7, 8 due up. As it stands right now, that's Kiara Sells, Tatum Silva, and Des Rivera. Always see if State will make any changes, but that's as it stands now. Time called in the circle from Faircloth. Here's a 2-1 right down Broadway. There's strike 2. Deuces wild now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-0 Mississippi State. Faircloth looking for a 10th strikeout of the ball game. Here's the pitch. Misses low in the dirt. Count full. A walk here would give the Rebels their first runner in scoring position in this ball game. Again, Reasoner with that infield single, the first runner to reach in the game for Ole Miss. The 3-2. Swing and a foul ball back to the backstop. Applin just got a piece of it. The count stays where it is, full at 3-2. Runner at first is Reasoner. 2 outs. Faircloth looking for strikeout number 10. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul ball back. Got excited there. Swing and a foul ball back. Just got out of the glove of Rivera. And so for the time being, Applin stays alive. Applin is not one of the strikeout victims in this ball game. Grounded out in the second inning. In the third. Looking to avoid that here. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 10 for Alyssa Faircloth. 8th time this season she has reached 10-plus strikeouts, and she has been phenomenal for Mississippi State. Rebels able to get their first base runner of the ball game on their first hit of the ball game in the infield single, but nothing happens with it. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base for the Rebels as we move to the the top half of the 6th inning. Through 5 here in Oxford, Mississippi State trying to add on to their 1-0 lead. Getting into the lower third of the order, 6, 7, 8 due up against Emily Boyer. And so the Bulldogs looking to add on and put a crooked number on the board and feel comfortable heading into the late innings of this one. To the top of the 6th we go in Game 1. Mississippi State on top 1-0 over Ole Miss. Be back in just a moment. This is Mississippi State Softball from the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you. We head to the top half of the 6th inning here in Oxford. You used to saying in Starkville, but in Oxford this weekend, State with a 1-0 lead. Kiara Sells due up to start the inning for Mississippi State, and first pitch to her misses for ball 1. State will have it as 6, 7, 8 Sells, and then Morgan Bernardini, who's going to re-enter, and Des Rivera in that 8 spot. 1-0 miss, and the count 2-0. At times, Boyer has had to work behind, has struck out 6 Bulldog batters today, only walked 1. Gave up that homer in the second from Sells, who's at the plate. Sells swings and fouls this one back to the backstop, and the count now 2-1. Two-1 to Sells. Catches the outer half, and the count evens. 2 balls and 2 strikes. State has had a runner reach every inning so far in the ball game. Looking to keep that going here. So this one's fouled off the netting, and count stays where it is, 2-2. State is obviously threatened with runners on. That's 6 hits in the ball game, but just hasn't been able to find their stride with runners on in this game. 1 for 13 and 0 for 7 with the runners in scoring position. When this one skips in the dirt, the count runs full now, 3-2. Sells looking to reach. 1 for 2 in the game with that home run earlier. Chops this one foul behind the plate, and the count will stay where it is, even. Or rather, full at 3-2. Not really a lick of wind night. Not really blowing out anywhere. It's just kind of stayed still. Become rather cool tonight. It's supposed to be cool this weekend. 3-2. Grounder over to short. Reasoner up with it. Throw to first in time. That's out number 1. And so a 6-3 put out. Reasoner with another one of those. And Ole Miss has retired the first batter they see in the top half of the 6th inning. And now it'll be Morgan Bernardini who will re-enter and hit for Mississippi State in the 7th spot. Bernardini's 0 for 2 today, so looking for her first hit. Only grabbed 1 last weekend against LSU, so looking to at least grab 1 here to start the weekend off in Oxford. So get the card changed there behind the plate and with the head coach Samantha Ricketts, and here's Bernardini. First pitch to her misses for ball 1. An overcast day here in Oxford. Further north in Starkville, so it gets a little colder, but don't really expect as cool of weather as we're having at this point in the year. Had some rain come through this week. So 1-0 misses the count now. 2-0 had some rain come through, so kind of brought a little bit of a front in. It's cooled some things off. I think we might get in the 50s or 40s at some points throughout the weekend. That would be later in the night, but consistently I think we're going to stay in the 60s all weekend. Again, I'm no weatherman, but I'm just telling you what I'm reading from my phone. Count now 3-0 on Bernardini, so good start to the count for her. See if they give her the green light. Here's the 3-0. Catches the outer half of the count now 3-1. Still a hitter's count for her. Average at 256 this season. 3-1. Grounder over to second base. Pickens up with it. Throw to first in time. So Bernardini was ahead 3-0 in the count to start. Boyer works back, and it's a ground out. And there's 2 gone here in the MSU half of the 6th. Now the catcher, Des Rivera, will get some work with 2 outs and nobody on here in the 6th inning for State. Misses low. The count 1-0 now. Rivera 1 for 2, singled back in the 2nd inning. So has come up to bat in each of the even innings so far. Grounded to a fielder's choice in the 4th. 1-0. Right down Broadway, and there is strike 1. The count evens at 1-1. 1-1. Just misses low. Catcher Bunker tried to pull it back and didn't get the call. The count in favor of Rivera, 2-1. Newly renovated park here in Oxford. The digs are nice here. Chairbacks, and got a good press box up here as well. This one's sent to right. Caught really on the foul line out there and right by George, and Mississippi State goes 1-2-3 for the first time in the ball game. Unable to get a runner on board for the first time in the game. And the Bulldogs still leading 1-0. Will take that lead into the bottom half of the 6th inning. Ole Miss trying to add some more hits and some more and add some runs. They haven't had any so far in this game and only one hit so far. So bottom of the sixth we go to be 8-9-1 Star, Malvin, and Bunker once again against Alyssa Faircloth, who's got 10 strikeouts so far in the ball game and looking for more. 1-0 Mississippi State as we head to the bottom of the sixth inning. Be back in just a moment. This is Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman as we head to the bottom of the sixth here in Oxford, Mississippi State. On top of Ole Miss in game one, 1-0. Scored a run on a solo homer way back in the second inning, and it has held since. Alyssa Faircloth, 10 strikeouts now in her sixth inning of work, only giving up one hit. Only one base runner has reached for the Rebels in the ball game. Rebels will go to a pinch hitter off the bench. It'll be the sophomore out of Chandler, Arizona, and Rachel Connors who will stand in. First pitch to Connors. In there for called strike one. So Connors played 17 games last year for the Rebels. This year a .254 average, and she's already down the count 0-2. There's a swing and a miss from as the pitch was delivered from Faircloth. Has reached base in the last 6 ball games, and so looking to continue that streak here, but down on the count 0-2. Swing and a miss. 11 strikeouts from Alyssa Faircloth. My goodness. That's just been dominance all around. Just gives you a flashback to last Friday. She had 11 last Friday and has just matched that. What she did, has 11 strikeouts now. As the lineup now to the 9th spot for Ole Miss. Taylor Malvin will stand in. First pitch to her. Misses for ball one. Looking to try and show bunt there, but pulled back. Corners playing in. Barbary at third playing in. Ernstis at first base playing in as well, trying to protect against the bunt. Malvin looking to swing away and slap there, but this one called a strike. At the count now 1-1. State has moved Kinley Keller to right field now. Kalani Sells now in center field for the Bulldogs. Morgan Bernardini back in left. 1-1 to Malvin. Swing and a miss, strike two. So 1-2 the count on Malvin. Lineup waiting to be flipped over for Ole Miss. This one lined hard but foul down the first base line. And the count will stay where it is. So again, the 8th time that Faircloth has gone over 10 strikeouts. She's reached 14, which is a season high, and a career high 3 times this season. Last coming against UAB back on March 18th in Starkville. 1-2. Swinging a foul ball back, and so you see Malvin staying alive. She's 0 for 1, a ground out back in the third inning. One-two to her. Did it dot the outside corner? It did not. The count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just missed there. Thought it maybe clipped the edge of the plate. Did not. Malvin continuing to fight. 2-2 the count on her. Base is empty with one out in the bottom of the sixth. State with a 1-0 lead over Ole Miss. This one sliced into shallow left. It's in foul territory, and Bernardini kind of had her played there and makes the grab for out number 2. She was playing shallow there in left field and was able to get to that one easily. And so the Bulldogs have 2 outs now in the bottom of the 6th inning, and that flips the lineup over for Ole Miss as Kennedy Bunker, the catcher, going to stand into the left-handed batter's box. Looking to avoid the hat trick, she struck out twice in her 2 plate appearances here in this one. First pitch to her misses low and inside for ball 1. One-0 to Bunker. That one just spiked in the ground and hits Bunker. So the hit by pitch, the second runner to reach for Ole Miss in the ball game. She reaches with 2 outs, and that'll move it now to Mackenzie Pickens. You hope the 2-out hit by pitch doesn't come back to haunt you. And now head coach for Ole Miss going to call timeout Jamie Traxel. Talk with her first and third base, or rather her hitting coach and her first base coach. So time called here. Not talking with any of their offensive players, so maybe thinking about making a change too. Coach Traxel has the lineup card out with home plate umpire Lyndon Baptiste, and so I think they might make a change at first and maybe go with a pinch runner. See what Ole Miss decides to do, and they will make a change. Looks like number 33 coming out of the dugout. It's going to be Alexa Rosales. And so Rosales will come out to run for Kennedy Bunker. And now Mackenzie Pickens will stand in. She's also looking to avoid the hat trick. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts in the game. Runner at first with 2 outs for Ole Miss in the bottom of the 6th inning. First pitch to Pickens misses for ball 1. One-0 to Pickens. In there, called strike 1. So if you have seen Faircloth fall back like 1-0 at a count and has fallen back 2-0 as well, she's been able to work back. Done a really good job. 1-1 catches the outer half, and a count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fans here clad navy and red don't like it. But it caught the outside corner. So Faircloth trying to get State out of the inning and looking for a 12th strikeout. Here's the pitch, misses away. The count now 2-2. Deuce is wild with 2 outs. In the bottom of the 6th inning, State holding on to a 1-0 lead here in game 1. Runner at first, 2-2 pitch. Right down Broadway, strike 3. Struck her out looking. Pickens with her 3rd strikeout of the ball game, so there's the hat trick. And what a way to send us into the top half of the 7th inning. 12th strikeout of the ball game for Alyssa Faircloth. Mississippi State claiming a 1-0 lead as we move to the top of the 7th. Bulldogs will look to add some insurance runs. They did that late in game 1 against LSU last weekend, and so looking to do that again. Bulldogs will have 9-1-2 due up. So hopefully Mississippi State can find a way here to add some insurance runs and make themselves feel a little bit more comfortable as we move later in this ball game as the bottom half of the 7th is nearing here in Oxford. 9-1-2 due up for State, and against Emily Boyer, Bulldogs lead 1-0 in game 1 over Ole Miss as we move to the top of the 7th inning. Back in just a moment, this is Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. We head to the top of the 7th inning. State with a 1-0 lead here in Game 1 over Ole Miss. Greta Grassel standing in to start things off for State, and the first pitch to her, she takes down the line and right for a foul ball. There's strike one. Happy to be with you again here from Oxford. I'm Ty Gilman alongside you. Seeing a pitcher's duel in this one. Alyssa Faircloth, 12 strikeouts. Emily Boyer only allowing one run and has 6 strikeouts. 0-1 misses away, and the count evens 1 ball and 1 strike. State has been no stranger to pitchers' duels this season. We've seen them all year. In one here, but the Bulldogs needing to add some insurance runs here late in the ball game. Count now 2-1 as that one misses in the dirt to Grassel. She's 0 for 2 today. Strikeout in the second, fly out in the fourth. So looking for her first hit. 2-1. Sent foul and out of play down over towards left field, and the count evens at 2-2. Important, too, that State adds some runs here. Ole Miss in the best part of their order in the bottom of the 7th inning. 3, 4, and 5, all those hitters above 300. Those are the only hitters above 300 in the order. Yamas, George, and Reesner. Grassel, checks her swing and stays back as that one's called ball 3. Really on the edge right there. And count full. Grassel trying to reach to start the inning for Mississippi State. 3-2. Foul down the third base line, and she'll stay alive for the time being. State 6 hits in the ball game. For State, their last hit came in the 5th. Bulldogs went 1-2-3 for the first time in the game. Last half inning, 3-2 to Grassel. Chopper over to second, going to be a tough play. Pickens on it, throw to first in time. There's out number 1. So State is now retired 6 in a row. So Boyer has done a good job in this one, especially a pitcher that has struggled in SEC play. Lineup does flip over for State, though. Morgan Stiles stands in. First pitch to her there on the outside corner for strike 1. Stiles 0 for 3 today. This one misses. The count now 1-1. Trying to extend her hit streak and reach base streak. It's 4-game hit streak and a 6-game reach base streak. Getting later in the game here and could be her last opportunity. 1-1 misses high and away. The count now 2-1. 2-1 on the way to Stiles. That one misses low, and a hitter's count for Stiles. Now it's at 3-1. Barbary waiting in the on-deck circle for Mississippi State. Stiles trying to reach with 1 out, nobody on. 3-1 pitch, here it is. Misses low, ball 4. And so Styles extends the reach base streak to 7. And State's got a runner aboard here in the top half of the 7th inning with 1 out as they lead 1-0. Nadia Barbary will stand in, who's had an excellent day today, 2 for 3 with 2 singles coming in the 1st and 3rd innings. First pitch to her, going to miss low and away for ball 1. Now time called behind the plate from Bunker. She'll go out and talk with her pitcher and Boyer, and so will the entire Rebel infield. Reminder, tomorrow, Game 2 set for 6 p.m. Central Time here in Oxford. Game 3 on Saturday set for 2 p.m. Central Time here in Oxford. You can catch both of those games on hailstate.com and the Hail State app, as well as on YouTube, the Bulldog Student Sports Network on YouTube. I have links to the hailstate.com and Hail State app streams posted on Hail State Softball on all socials, and then on our socials on Instagram and X at BSSN_MSU on X, at Bulldog Student Sports Network on Instagram. We'll have a link to our stream as well posted for YouTube, so you can pick or choose whatever you want to do. Just listen to Mississippi State tomorrow. Back to play here. The 1-0 to Barbary, grounded over to second. 4 and no. I got ahead of myself. That one throwing in the outfield. Allie Supan, the pinch runner for State, advances to third base, and Nadia Barbary over to second. And so a team that's been so good this season with double plays, but their flaws show for Ole Miss. They've made a lot of errors this year, and they make their second of the ball game, and it's a costly one that puts 2 runners in scoring position for Mississippi State. Supan at third base, Barbary at second base. So Ole Miss is going to challenge right here to see if the runner at first base and Supan left early. We'll see that review on the scoreboard here. Maybe we'll see it on the scoreboard, but if the call on the field stands, State will have runners at second and third with 1 out. Looking at it here in the press box, can't really tell from the angle we're seeing here, but they are showing it on the press box, and Allie Supan fired up over there at third base thinking she's going to be all right.
Oh, she's on time.
So it looks like she's going to be fine. So call's confirmed, and Ole Miss loses the challenge there. Supan fired up at third base, and Barbary at second. Always a spark of energy is Allie Supan. And for Ole Miss, hey, you got challenges. You can't keep them with you. Might as well use one of them late, and they do there, but it does not work in their favor. And so here comes some maroon and white chants from the Mississippi State side. Zion Romero stands in with runners at second and third and 1 out. And Romero has just been really solid over the past couple of ball games. Another multi-hit game. She's got a single and a double in this one. Ole Miss infield playing in. First pitch to her right down the middle for strike 1. Gabby Schaefer is actually now the pinch runner at second base for State. And Supan at third. 0-1 in the dirt, ball 1. Again, huge runs to get if State can get them here. Rebels will have 3, 4, and 5. All those hitters in the order due up next inning, all hitters above 300. The only hitters above 300 in that order. 1-1 misses. The count now 2-1. Ernstus waiting in the on-deck circle. Romero, again, 2 for 2 with a single and a double, but reached in the first as well on a walk. So has reached in every plate appearance in this one. On the season, she is a .353 batter with runners in scoring positions. She's got 2 of them right now. Here's the pitch. Misses low. The count 3-1. So a good spot to be in for Romero. Can't tell if there's any movement in the pen for Ole Miss. 3-1, though, with runners at second and third, one out. Romero trying to provide some insurance runs for State. Here's the pitch. Fouled high and out of play over towards the right side, and the count runs full. So 3-2 the count. Romero trying to reach for the fourth time in this game. A hit would score 2 for State. 3-2. On the outer edge, strike 3. A huge strikeout to get for Emily Boyer, her 7th strikeout of the ball game. Romero retired for the first time in this one. And there's 2 gone in the inning. And that one was there. And so 2 gone in the inning. Runners at second and third still for State. And it's Paige Ernstis who's going to step in for the Bulldogs. 0-0 to Ernstis. Out in front, swing and a miss, strike 1. So Supan at third base. You got Schaefer at second. Some momentum on the Ole Miss side. The Bulldogs trying to add insurance runs late in this game. Top of the 7th, they lead 1-0. Excuse me, swing and chopped over to third. It is foul. And now quickly down to the count as Ernstis. It's 0-2. So Ernstis, who has been hot hitting lately, had a great series against LSU, trying to provide a late spark for State in this game. Down to the count, though, 0-2. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled over towards the left side, and caught at the dugout by Starr, and that's out number 3. State strands runners at second and third base, and the Bulldogs are unable to add any insurance runs. Couple of big outs to get there for Ole Miss after runners got to second and third. They get Romero out on strikes and a foul out from Ernstis, and that'll send us to the bottom of the 7th inning. Ole Miss a chance to tie the game or walk it off here. They've got the heart of their order and the best part of their order due up against Alyssa Faircloth, who's got 12 strikeouts and has been solid in this ballgame. 3-4-5 due up, Yamas, George, and Reasoner for Ole Miss as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning here in Oxford. Mississippi State on top in Game 1, 1-0 over the Rebels. Back in just a moment for the bottom of the 7th. This is Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C-Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C-Spire. Customer inspired.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. To the bottom of the 7th we go. Mississippi State trying to hold on to their 1-0 lead and win here in Game 1 over Ole Miss. It's Alyssa Faircloth with 12 strikeouts in the game, facing off against Percy Yamas. 3-4-5 due up for the Rebels here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Heart of their order. First pitch to Yamas. Misses for ball 1. Faircloth has only given up 1 hit, only 2 base runners through 6 innings, working in her 7th inning here, trying to grab a complete game shutout. Swinging a foul ball off the gear of Rivera, and the count now 1-1. Yamas 0 for 2 today. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a foul ball back, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. State with the change at first base. Abby Grace Richardson playing over there now here in the bottom of the 7th. Leadoff hitter and Yamas down to the count 1-2. Here's the pitch. Dots the outer edge for strike 3. Yamas shocked about it. So is the Rebel crowd, but not Alyssa Faircloth. 13 strikeouts in the ball game for Faircloth, and there's one gone here in the bottom of the 7th for Mississippi State. But in steps the dangerous Maddie George. Important that there is nobody on base, but only a 1-run lead for State. But the dangerous Maddie George stands in. She's got 2 strikeouts, though, in the ball game today, and swings and misses for strike 1 on the first pitch she sees here in her 3rd AB. Oh, 1 to George. Misses low and inside for ball 1. The count evens. George on a 12-game reach base streak. Trying to keep that alive here. Bulldogs would love to see that come to an end. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. And that one catches the outer half, and the count now 1-2. So 1-2 on George. A strikeout will match a season and career high for Faircloth. George trying to avoid the hat trick. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 4th time that Alyssa Faircloth has reached 14 strikeouts, matching a season and career high. And George strikes out for the 3rd time in the ball game. And so it's down to up to Cassie Reasoner for Ole Miss. In the bottom of the 7th inning, base is empty, and there are 2 outs. A strikeout here, and obviously State just wants an out, but a strikeout here would be a new career high for Alyssa Faircloth. First pitch was there, now the second misses, so the count now 1-1. Reasoner has the only hit in the game for Ole Miss. It was an infield single. The 1-1 in the dirt ball 2. So 2-1 on Reasoner. One of the 2 Rebels to reach today. Here's the pitch. This one hit out to right. Will it stay fair? It will not. Foul ball. That one would have dropped and could have been maybe a double for the Rebels. Instead, it's strike 2. And State just needs 1 strike to win the ball game with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. State trying to win a pitcher's duel and take game 1 over Ole Miss. Deuces wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In the bottom of the 7th, State up 1-0. Here's the pitch. Grounder over towards the Ole Miss dugout, and the count stays where it is. Faircloth on the doorstep of a career high in strikeouts. At 14 right now, looking for 15. The 2-2. Misses low, ball 3, count runs full. Faircloth trying not to lose a batter with 2 outs. State trying to win the game. 3-2 in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch, swing, ground ball over to third. Barbary up with it, throw to first in time, and what a game for Mississippi State. Bulldogs win 1-0 over Ole Miss. Alyssa Faircloth with a complete game shutout, 14 strikeouts, matching a season and career high. And it was all Faircloth in the Mississippi State defense today. The lone run in the second coming from Kiara Sells' home run into left field is enough to give Mississippi State the win. You can wrap this one, my friends, in maroon and white. Mississippi State wins 1-0 over Ole Miss in Game 1. Game 2 will be tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time here in Oxford, and Game 3 at 2 p.m. Central Time here in Oxford on Saturday. But the Bulldogs have the early edge in the series. They win 1-0 off the hands of a 14 strikeout complete game shutout from Alyssa Faircloth. 1-0 Mississippi State wins. Be back in just a moment for the post-game show. Bulldogs take game 1 over Ole Miss. Back in just a moment for the post-game show. This is Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Everything is just a little easier when you feel at home. At Cadence Bank, we're proud to be part of your home team, and we never stop working to give you a competitive advantage. Stop by a branch or visit us online at cadencebank.com to learn more about how we're helping opportunity take shape for our community.
There's a hit out to left field. This one is gone.
Cadence Bank, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State Athletics. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
I'm Jake Mangum. A great team knows how to gel and only gets better over time. Kind of like auto insurance for Farm Bureau Insurance. Over the last 12 months, auto rates have had 2 reductions. And after February 15th, 2026, members will see another reduction of 5%. If you aren't already on the team, there's no better time to join Farm Bureau. Visit msfbins.com to find great new rates on auto insurance, or contact your local agent to get more details on how you can save. Go with the home team, go with Farm Bureau.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you turn your backyard into your personal movie theater.
Start movie night.
Own your day on the network for connected living. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network in our post-game show. I'm Ty Goldman alongside you here in Oxford as Game 1 was wrapped in maroon and white. Mississippi State with a 1-0 win over Ole Miss in Game 1. Alyssa Faircloth with a 14-strikeout complete game shutout, only gave up 1 hit in the ball game. Mississippi State's defense played error-free, and the Bulldogs dominated defensively in this one, and the 1 run in the second inning was enough to give Mississippi State the Game 1 win over their rivals in Ole Miss. Look at the final line score first for the losing team in Ole Miss. Ole Miss, obviously with no runs scored, and as I mentioned, only 1 hit. They had 2 errors in the ball game and only left 2 on base. For Mississippi State, they scored 1 run. That was in the second inning off of a Kiara Sells home run in the left field. So 1 run on 6 hits for Mississippi State, no errors, and 9 left on base for MSU as they win 1-0 over Ole Miss. Pitchers of decision, there were only 2 that pitched in the ball game, so that's fairly easy to talk about. Alyssa Faircloth, the winning pitcher for the Bulldogs, with the win, moves to 12-5 on the season. A complete game shutout for her. Again, only gave up 1 hit. 14 strikeouts, the 4th time she's done that this year. Again, ties a season and career high. The 8th game that she's had 10-plus strikeouts as well. Faced 23 Ole Miss batters. Threw 91 total pitches. 71 of those were strikes. So incredibly impressive from Faircloth of Mississippi State. She is the winning pitcher in the ball game, and the losing pitcher in the ball game is Emily Boyer. With the loss, she falls to 9-12 on the year, win a complete game, gave up 6 hits, only 1 run, which was earned, as I mentioned, the solo home run in the second inning from Kiara Sells, and that was the one run that she earned in the game. And she walked 2 batters for Mississippi State batters, had 7 strikeouts, 31 batters faced. She threw 140 pitches in the game, 81 of them were strikes. So with that game and that performance, her ERA now sits at 4 flat, so 4.00 ERA, and Faircloth goes down as well. It goes now down to 2.43, so 2.43 ERA. So the winning pitcher, Alyssa Faircloth, and the losing pitcher is Emily Boyer. No saves in this game. Obviously, it was just the 2 starters that went the distance for Mississippi State, and so no saves in this game, but really just impressive, and can't say enough about Alyssa Faircloth. She's done it all season. Leads the conference in strikeouts, top 10 in the nation in strikeouts as well. And just has been this way all season. Has been a huge transfer addition for Mississippi State, as well as everybody else in that pitching staff. Of the main ones, Paige Gould and Layla Amon. Seen Delaney Everett stay, and she's been great as well. But the transfer portal adds in that pitching staff for Coach Samantha Ricketts and pitching coach Tara Mowat-McKinney have been phenomenal, and they have meant the world to Mississippi State this season, and were the main reason Mississippi State won the game tonight. And also, too, outside of that, you look at the defense for the Bulldogs, didn't commit an error, I believe, last weekend against LSU, and didn't have an error tonight. So 14 strikeouts in the ball game for Mississippi State's Alyssa Faircloth. But again, there were some plays to be made in the field, and Mississippi State's defense made them. So a really, really impressive performance from Mississippi State's defense and pitching staff in this ball game, and that carries into the win. State had some traffic on the base pass early on, and the credit to Emily Boyer, struck out State batters 6 times in the game, but also, too, was able to strand some Mississippi State batters and runners in scoring position and runners on. You look at what State did with runners on and in scoring position. State was 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position, 1 for 16 with runners on base. So really not exactly at all where you want to be, but it didn't matter with how good Faircloth was and how good the defense was with Mississippi State. But again, credit to Boyer. I mean, she gave Ole Miss every single opportunity in this game to win, but Mississippi State just held on in the end. Again, just and impressive too for what Ole Miss has gone through with that pitching staff this season. To see Boyer come out and have a phenomenal game like that, and not let some early hits and some runners on base phase her and give her team plenty of opportunities was impressive from her. To see her go and pitch like that and give Ole Miss a chance, even with the tough year that she's had anyway this season. So props to her. I mean, like I said, gave Ole Miss every opportunity to win the ball game, but State's defense and Alyssa Faircloth held strong in the game. Look at some individuals who perform well offensively. You have to talk about Kiara Sells, right, with that solo homer in the left field. Just got out of the yard. It went off the top of the glove in left field of the left fielder for Ole Miss, but just got out of here, and it did get out of here, and that was a lone run of the game for Mississippi State. So have to mention her. She's responsible, very, very much responsible for this win for Mississippi State. Look at Nadia Barbary and Ziane Romero, both adding multi-hit games. Barbary goes 2 for 4 in the ball game with 2 singles. Romero goes 2 for 3 with a single and a double, and also reached on a walk as well. So Romero reached 3 times in the ball game. So impressive stuff from her, and impressive stuff from both of them, in Barbary and Romero. And then the other hit came from Des Rivera earlier in the ball game, so she went 1 for 3. So the hits come from Rivera and Sells. They both had 1 apiece, and then Romero and Barbary both had 2 apiece. So offensively, you got to be better tomorrow, especially with opportunities with runners on and runners in scoring position. Have to be better. You never know what Ole Miss's offense can throw at you tomorrow, and they've been solid all season. Really, probably one of their, for lack of a better terms, worst outings this season in SEC play. So never know what they're going to throw at you tomorrow. They've got a lot of power and a lot of pop in that order, and they can strike at any time. So if you're Mississippi State, you got to find a way to execute with runners on and runners in scoring position. But from the get-go, Mississippi State was threatening. It's just they couldn't carry out those threats and couldn't score with runners on and runners in scoring position. So hopefully we can see some improvement for that tomorrow, and hopefully the Bulldogs can win Game 2 tomorrow and maybe get a great pitching performance from Paige Gould, who we'll see tomorrow. So would love to see that. But again, a big win for Mississippi State over Ole Miss. 1-0 they win in Game 1. Complete game shutout, 14 strikeouts for Alyssa Faircloth, and the one solo homer in the second inning from Kiara Sells is enough to give Mississippi State the win over the Rebels. Looking at some scores from around the Southeastern Conference, only one game or a couple games have gone final, rather. Obviously, the state game just went final, 1-0 MSU with the win. Look at some other games that went final. In Tuscaloosa, Alabama knocks off South Carolina in Game 1 3-2, so a close game there. As Carolina tied it in the sixth inning, but Alabama was able to add a run untied in the bottom of the sixth inning and shut them out in the seventh. So Bama wins Game 1 over South Carolina 3-2. Look at the only other final, Florida-Georgia, their rivalry renewed in Athens, and Florida with the Game 1 win over Georgia 5-3. They add 2 runs in the top of the seventh, Florida does, to propel them to a 5-3 Game 1 win over the Bulldogs of Georgia. So there's the finals from today, and obviously everybody playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday to give themselves some time to some time off and also some time to travel for the SEC tournament. Starts on Wednesday next week in Lexington, so everybody playing a little bit early to give themselves some time and give themselves some rest as well. Looking at some games, and just had another one go final. In Austin, Arkansas with the win over Texas, a big win for the Razorbacks. They win 2-0, shutting out the Longhorns in Austin. Razorbacks 2-0 in Game 1. They defeat the Longhorns of Texas. A couple more games going on right now, none scheduled to start any later. There's 3 going on right now. Tennessee on the road in Columbia on top in the sixth inning, top half of the sixth inning, 3-0 over Missouri, so they're up 3-0 right now. Look, in Baton Rouge, just started down there, 0-0 the score between Auburn and LSU, so a battle of the Tigers there, and LSU looking to win after coming off a series loss last weekend in Starkville against Mississippi State. So just started there, bottom of the first, 0-0 the score. And just started in College Station, top of the first inning between number 1 Oklahoma, number 12 Texas A&M, 0-0 the score there as well. So a couple games just starting. Tennessee game going to just ended the sixth, so going to the seventh inning, so late there, and Tennessee with the lead. You had Alabama win tonight over Carolina, Arkansas win over Texas, Florida win over Georgia, and most importantly, Mississippi State wins over Ole Miss. So a big win for Mississippi State, and they have the advantage here in the series over the Rebels, 1-0, and looking to win the series tomorrow in Game 2. And speaking of Game 2, we will have all of those games broadcasted for you on hailstate.com and the Hail State app, as well as on the Bulldog Student Sports Network channel on YouTube. So Game 2 tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time here in Oxford. We'll have that one for you. Pregame starting at 5:45. And then Game 3 on Saturday will start at 2 p.m. Central Time in Oxford, and pregame will start at 1:45. So tune in for that. You can listen on hailstate.com and the Hail State app. You can find those links on Hail State SB on X, Instagram, and Facebook. So they'll have those posted. You can listen to hailstate.com broadcast, and click on the link that Hail State softball will post tomorrow on their socials, or you can listen on our YouTube channel, the Bulldog Student Sports Network on YouTube. You can listen there. We'll have a link posted to our YouTube stream tomorrow on our socials, on Instagram at Bulldog Student Sports Network, and on X at BSSN_MSU. And then if you go to our YouTube, subscribe to us, we would appreciate it. Click that notification bell. You'll get instant notifications when we go live broadcasting Mississippi State athletic events. A pleasure broadcasting to you tonight here from Oxford. A joy to watch Mississippi State win over Ole Miss. A 1-0 win for the Bulldogs as Alyssa Faircloth strikes out 14 in a complete game shutout, and Kiara Sells' second inning solo home run is enough to lift Mississippi State over Ole Miss. My friends, you can wrap Game 1 in maroon and white. Mississippi State 1, Ole Miss 0. We'll have Game 2 tomorrow with pregame starting at 5:45 p.m. Central Time. Again, you can listen in on the Hail State app, hailstate.com, and on the Bulldog Student Sports Network on YouTube. I'm Ty Goldman signing off from Oxford. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight and listening to a Mississippi State win. Bulldogs 1, Rebels 0. Be back again for Game 2 tomorrow as State looks to take the series over Ole Miss. Been a pleasure broadcasting to you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Mississippi State again wins over Ole Miss in Game 1, 1-0. Everybody take care. Have a great rest of your night, and Hail State.
From Learfield, Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Sports Network. Mississippi State Softball has been sponsored by C Spire, customer inspired. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Bulldog Sports Network.